Hey, everybody, welcome back. And we were just kind of chuckling because, the title is almost like, should be like a country song, like same old story for pendant homes. Okay, well, maybe not. And yeah, I won't start a singing career, but it is kind of the same old story. Or is it? Is this more of a nationwide thing? What are we doing locally? Are we seeing an uptick? Are we not? Hey, let's get into it. We're going to go through residential metrics only, as we do each and every week. If you want condos or investments, multifamily, that's a different video. But let's get the show on the road and let's talk about it. Is it the same old story? Okay, so when we take a look at it, same old story for pendant homes, and you can see what they're talking about when you have the chart basically that is going from 2023 moving all the way through even month to date. As you can even see at the tail end, we have a little bit of an uptick. But when we talk about everything that is going on and we talk about, hey, why are buyers pulling back? Are they getting back into it again? Well, with our headlines here, we can see that we're having a better demand push because mortgage rates have been coming back down again. They had bopped up to, definitely into the 6.5 from the low sixes. Now they're down to 6.32, 6.25. Mortgage rates are holding steady for most lenders. That's because they were looking at and having a concern with some of the information that was out there. Some of it is a little misleading. And so a lot of folks are like, well, I don't know. And then all of a sudden they're getting, hey, this is actually, here's the true story. Now I'm going to move forward. And so we've been seeing quite a bit of activity. So if we pop back here, we take a look at Freddie. Look, Freddie's been on their way back down for a long time now. We say a long time, at least a couple of weeks. The good news is that, we're over a half a point or 0.5% less in rate than where we were at last year at this time, and including down just a little bit from where we were at last week. Lawrence Nguyen, super smart guy, major head shed there. The National Association of Realtors chief economist says, hey, look, contract signings rose in March, despite higher mortgage rates pointing to pent-up housing demand. He said he added that demand remains particularly rate sensitive among first-time buyers and young buyers, underscoring the need for additional housing. Now, I totally agree with that. Mortgage rates have the biggest impact, especially with new borrowers. That's a given. But even with move up and folks looking at retiring, they know that rate is directly proportional to how quickly a home, other than price, will come off of the market, what people can buy, what that demand is, how many buyers are going to actually come in and play, because there's a lot of them that still sit on the sidelines as they're taking a look and evaluating the market. But understand, they're talking about March. Oh, we're cresting on the end of April. So let's talk about real-time metrics, and that's what you get with us. And again, no marketing, but let's delve into it. So looking at residential only, our days on market actually are doing quite well. We are actually down from where we were at just not too long ago. With that, when we pop over, we take a look at the running 7-day average. We had 1,331 homes that came on market, but look at that. We had 1,218, excuse me, that went pending. And you might be going, okay, George, well, the number of homes coming on market is more than one pending, so our inventory is going up. Well, yes and no. And here's the important message to understand about that. Friday is a massive lift day. In fact, we added two to the mix. Excuse me. And so when we look at Wednesday, well, Wednesday was only at 900 homes that came on market, but still we had 1,300 homes that went off market, and we were drawing down that inventory. So, it goes up, it's going down. It's doing this through the process of the week. Now, a couple of, last week and the week before and the week before that, we actually had, and we were down to like 14% more homes that are on market over last year. Well, today we actually hit a little bit higher. We're like 25%. And last year at this time, they were starting to contract just a little bit because of rate. That's why rates today are over a half a point or 0.5% less. So last year they started to contract a little bit, whereas this year they're actually starting to push forward more because rates are down, because there's a lot of pent-up buyer demand. We are still seeing multiple offers. In fact, one that went live yesterday, we had multiple offers on it, and we'll probably go into contract today. That is an important thing because well-priced homes go off market within the first 7 days. Just saying. All right. So if we head out and we take a look at the actual metrics so that you guys can see what we're seeing, here we go. Let's take a look at this. So we've got 25% more homes on market, but our sales, which were lagging, we were like 3% or more most of the last week. We have dropped that down. So we closed that gap to where, we're only, 60-ish homes off, 40-ish homes off from where we should be for the same month year over year. But look, we're almost 20% more pended sales, over 800 homes more went pended than last year at this time. We have a few more homes on market. We have a lot more pended that came on market. Same thing. If you look at the right-hand side there, you can see that the number of pended year over year is up almost 6%. That's a bigger number. And yes, we're lagging a little bit on solds. Not unexpected because, technically March for us, that was a tough market because that's when they had a lot of the Iran conflict issues, and a lot of the investors were finding safe territory. And so rates went up, buyers pulled back. Things have settled out. Rates came back down, buyers came back into the market. And that's what's super important to understand because rate is one of the major drivers next to price. So if we take a look at our actual numbers, look, hey, we're actually doing really well. Sales are down slightly by only 1.3%. We have pended homes that are up 16.1%. That's 206 more homes than where we were at over year. Average time on market is 7 days more than that last year, which is same as last week. But look, the average sales price, even though it was down 2.5%, it was technically $16,000 higher than the average sales price last week. And you might go on, George, what the heck? How is that possible? Okay, just understand it just goes up and down every week. It doesn't mean your home value went up 16,000, down 16,000, whatever. It's just the average of what sold, but it's a very dynamic metric for us to look for trends because we see it go up and it goes down, it goes up and it goes down, and it does fluctuate with interest rates. We look for it's going down, down, that would be bad, and then it goes up, which, is good and bad sometimes. The however is we look for this, and that is a normal market. And so we're not seeing the really big dips, not like this. We're just seeing these little bobbles. Situation normal, seasonally normal. And you're going to see that. And so what we look at is, are we trending? Are our dynamic numbers moving along? And from the 7-day average, very clear, buyers are very active right now. Now, that will change as we hit the vacation trifecta, which is going to be heading upon us towards the middle end of May as we head into, I believe it's Memorial Weekend. Then kids are getting out of school. Then we have 4th of July. That is a kicker right there. And we call it the real estate ghost town. And then after July 4th, boom, we will hit a really good sales cycle until about the middle of end of August. Oh, guess what? Yes. Then we have another vacation. Then kids are getting back in school and everybody does, their last minute things, for the summer as snow is going to fly and it's going to start getting darker. And then all of a sudden it'll pick back up again late September, October. If you're a seller, keep those timelines in mind. It's super important because you'll want to pay attention to some of those buyers if you're marketing during that time. Anyway, moving on. Get off my little soapbox there. All right. So when we take a look at new construction, which has absolutely just rocketed forward, even though the number of solds hasn't changed, they're down about 11%. However, when we take a look at the month of April, they're up almost 20%. And that is a big deal. They're absolutely killing it. Last week, they were only at 7.8%. I mean, not last year, last week. And then year to date, last week, they were a negative 6.18%. They cut that in half. They're at 3.1%. And they have been offering some super awesome incentives. They're seeing a lot more activity, and they're giving a lot more goodies. But they only give those goodies if you know how to ask for them. If you just go to the site agent, you're not going to get it. If you're being represented by an agent who understands new construction, how to get them, absolutely, you will get those benefits. We're not talking about just $1,000 of goodies. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars of goodies. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of motivation out there. There's a lot of incentives that you can work with. You just get smaller lots. You get new construction, which is the super awesome part. But the nemesis to new construction, resale homes, which those are absolutely dominating our market right now. Just saying. All right, so let's come back here. When we take a look at it, we take a look at the actual sales price. Sales prices are up. Again, this is a very dynamic number. List prices are up, sales prices are up, and we're seeing some positive direction with a lot of the builders, and that is 100% expected. Now, let's switch over to bank-owned homes. Again, I just want to give a big shout out to a lot of the credit unions that are out there. If you are working with a credit union, they are awesome. They will work with you. They are, without a doubt, people who actually care. Now, they can't give you the world, but they care, and they will try everything they can to give you an opportunity to, basically kind of get level with the game again. And so be patient with them, be respectful, be honest, and they will absolutely help you out. I say that because we are seeing, a few more foreclosures based on the COVID era of folks that did not want to make a payment, and for one reason or another. And so they are maybe struggling. If you're with one of the big box banks, sorry. But if you're with a credit union, again, that's super awesome because they absolutely take care of their members and whatnot. So even though our numbers look super crazy as far as percentages, you can tell on the left-hand side that's pretty small stuff. Again, this is 3/4 of Washington State. To have 43 more homes on market for the month of April, no big deal. 16 more listings, technical. 6 solds, 19 more pended. When we have more active on the market, naturally we're going to have more sales options, and so the numbers translate to that. So keep that in mind. Banks go in, paint, carpet, and vinyl. They get it resold out on market value. So us being one of the top 5 sweet spots across the United States, you're not going to see a lot of discounts, like none at all. So just keep that in mind. There are other alternatives and whatnot. So absolutely stellar day out there. If you have any questions, put it down below. Feel free to ask questions. We don't hunt you out. We just answer them normally in about 30 minutes, except for on Sunday. And in the meantime, I'll catch you on the next video. Have an absolutely beautiful day. Take care.